Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, from Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling happenings from the WWE Superstars of tomorrow, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode 2637 of the show. And we're going to talk some NXT Event Center, the fallout from Halloween Havoc, and I'll tell you what, every time we have a fallout from a pay-per-view, something crazy always happens. This has got me the craziest. And as you know, in about 2 weeks, they'll be heading to the theater in Madison Square Garden for Gold Rush. All we need now is the Gold Ranger from Zio to show up and go, time for a Gold Rush, you know? And I'm only joking about that. But this time around, TNA and AAA, along with Evolve, will be represented in this Gold Rush. This is going to be something else. And let me explain to you something. NXT has been on fire ever since. The collaboration with TNA is just unstoppable. I mean, it is so great to see. And and I'm going to admit this right now, is that NXT is the best it has ever been. And like I said, you know, and let me tell you, when you get TNA involved, something cool always happens. And you know what? It has been. So, let's kick it off. Trick Williams, who is not in a very good mood after losing to Ricky Saints this past Saturday night, starts harassing the people in the production truck and everything else. I'm surprised Shawn Michaels did not come in and get into Trick's face at that point, you know. And so he goes, "Shut up while grown folk talking." I'm like, oh boy, here we go with this grown folk talking. He comes out, calls out Ricky Saints, right? So Ava comes out and says, "You know, Trick, you lost. Simple as that. Let it go. Move on." And then Ricky Saints is like, for a big man, you talk big for a guy who got his butt kicked, and he went in the ring, and they started brawling, and security comes in to separate these two. But it gets it gets crazier. Trust me on this one. So this Speed number 1 Contenders final, the winner will face El Grande Americano for the Speed Championship. And this is a case of David versus Goliath, Axiom versus Jasper Troy, who won season 1 of LFG. And I'll tell you, Axiom got Jasper Troy going until the final seconds of that Speed final, and Jasper Troy hit him with the black hole slam, the boss man slam, the sidewalk slam, whatever slam you want to call it, pins him. But Rayo and Bravo, a.k.a. Americano 1 and 2, Los Americanos, was watching Rayo and Bravo, and they were kind of looking. If I were Rayo and Bravo, I would stay out of Jasper Troy's way. Because if Jasper Troy decides to beat the crap out of El Grande Americano, you better. He better, because if Rayo and Bravo get involved, they're going to get theirs too. I mean, Jasper Troy probably does not care. They'll take on all three of them, those three stooges. Mo, Larry, and Curly. El Grande Americano, Rayo, and Bravo. Those are the three stooges. And Jasper Troy is going to make mincemeat of them boys. So, then Ava was talking to Sol Ruka and Zarya, and about then her knee and everything else. And we're talking about the Speed Championship. And he said, "Do you want somebody to defend it?" And then Sol Ruka looked at Zarya and says, and she thought better of it and said, "No, I'm going to forfeit. I'm going to relinquish this." And then Ava says, "We'll have a women's speed tournament to crown a new women's speed champion." And Zarya just walked out, not very happy about that decision. And you know, sometimes losing a title could change a person. So we shall see how this relationship between Zarya and Sol Ruka work out. Meanwhile, the new NXT Women's Champion Tatum Paxley addresses the NXT universe. She said, "We did it. I worked hard, 4 years." And then she was so excited she wants to issue an open challenge. But Izzy Dave's like, "I don't know about this, and even Nico Vance and Sean Spears like, I don't know, well, Izzy's right, but then again, Tatum's right. She should." And then they found out you guys missed the wheel because you guys were upset. Well, bringing the wheel back, and this time around, the only difference is that all the names of the women in the locker room. But one name was omitted from that list is Izzy Dame, and then Sean Spears recognizes it, and Tatum, I don't want to fight her for the championship. I think Izzy Dame probably would think otherwise, I'm afraid. But then she spun the wheel, and for her first title defense against Lola Vice, who I think Tatum actually knew and understood where Lola was coming from. So we shall see that matchup. And then Ren Sinclair was talking to Kendall Gray. With Trick Williams still looking for Ricky Saints, runs to OTM. They didn't care. I was like, you better watch yourself there, Trick. And then Ren Sinclair was talking to Kendall Gray about her title defense, and he's, "Oh, you coming out there?" "Yeah, of course. Girl, you helped me get this far." So Ren Sinclair went with her. And Ren Sinclair, a former guest of Rant and Rave, when she was known as Mandy Renkowski. The Evolve Women's title on the line, Kendall Gray versus Lash Legend. Heck of a matchup between the two athletes. And Kendall Gray ended up retaining the title, and she ended up doing this sign that Ren Sinclair always been doing. Miles Bourne and Tavian Heights were talking about their matchup where they wanted to face, one of them wanted to face Josh Briggs. And then ended up leading them into a one-on-one matchup. But then Lola Vice was talking to Paxley, saying, "I'm really proud of you. You got your title, but I'm going to come after it." And Tatum Paxley says, "I'll do whatever it takes to defend it." Izzy Dane interrupts him. He said, "What are you talking about? Everything's perfect. Come on, we're going to get ready for our first title defense." Then Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights went one-on-one, the former NQCC members, No Quarter Catch Crew members. And they were going at it, They were exchanging changing holds left and right. And Josh Briggs was on commentary during the matchup. And then started getting into a fight outside the ring. Josh Briggs gets involved. Miles Bourne ended up winning the matchup. And Tavion Heights showed him some love out of the match. But then, as Tavion Heights was about to leave the ring, Josh Briggs grabs him and starts brawling with him. Security came out and separated two of them. And those two, let me tell you, it gets really crazy. And then during that time, while Briggs and Tavion Heights brawled during the matchup, Trick Williams smashes a chair on Miles Bourne's back and decides to call out Ricky Saints again. Meanwhile, Ethan Page was talking to Chelsea Green along with Alba Fire, and they have a shot this coming Sunday at AAA, at the AAA event to become the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions, held by Mr. Iguana La Hydra. And all those times Mr. Iguana was staring at Lola Vice. Maybe Trouble in Paradise for that team. We'll find out for sure what the story is. So, but then as they were talking, and Chelsea Green starts mentioning all Canada and Mexico, and Thea Hale walks by and goes, "I believe in Joe Hendry," and guess what? He appeared. Yeah, I have a trash can. It was so funny, and because I'd be worried about beating La Hydra and Mr. Iguana for those belts if you want to be tag team champions. And all that. Yeah, I don't usually don't get advice from somebody from a trash can, but heck, why not? So let's get out of here. Joey Boy and oh my gosh. And then Thea Hale walks back. Let's go, Joe, and grabs the trash can. Maybe Thea Hale and Joe Hendry. That'll be something. I like Joe Hendry. At least he appeared. Finally, I say his name. When Thea Hale said his name. Thea Hale said his name. All right. Now it gets crazy. The NXT Women's Championship was on the line. Tatum Paxley defending it against Lola Vice. But then, while during the match, a Fatal Influence was not very happy, especially JC Jane. They were heading to the ring. They arrived and they attacked Izzy Dane during the matchup, but then they decided to storm the ring and attack both Paxley and Vice during the match out. Throwing the match out to be a no contest. I forgot to write that down. I know I always write notes. I always take notes just in case I forget what happened. So no contest. Okay. There we go. Thank you very much. And then Blake Monroe, the lovely Blake Monroe. I'm starting to like Blake Monroe a little bit more. Was in a little bathtub, a little bubble bath, taking a bubble bath and celebrating as the new NXT Women's North American Champion. And she's going to warn them that don't let the gorgeous looks fool you. There's a woman with a killer instinct inside, ready to come out and kick your butt. So, better watch for Blake Monroe. And then NXT Anonymous is added again. You saw Javon Evans FaceTiming with Leon Slater. It looks like those two become best friends. And then they say, hey, after you get done with with your championship defenses, well, you and I will try to go for the tag team titles. Dark State confronts him and starts running their mouths and talking smack. He says, hey, about this. Oh, you oh. No, he didn't do that. He said, hey, how about a match? And then they want to start something with him. And he said, well, save it. So it seems like Dark State wants to make sure there's no competition standing in their way to get to hold on the belts for a long time. Meanwhile, Kelly Kincaid interviewed Soruka and Zarya, and Soruka goes, yeah, gotta feel bad. I just can't stand her with my championship. And then all of a sudden, Zarya goes, you know what? I'm going to enter the women's speed tournament and get that championship back for you and for us. And JC Jane, tells both of them to shut up, and they start getting upset because next week Fatal Influence will face Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dane, and Lola Vice in a 6-woman tag. He said, we'll be ready for you next week. Then the Knockouts title was on the line. Keilani Jordan defending it against former champ Jordynne Grace. This matchup was good until chaos erupts at rings. Trick Williams and Ricky Saints, they come out, referees up, ran. The referee who was assigned to the matchup jumps out of the ring, get him out of here, we got a match here, let's go, and everything else. Dude, pay attention. Keilani Jordan grabs the belt, puts it down, and then when they continue the brawl, in fact, Trick Williams and Ricky Saints entered the ring to brawl, but then the referee kicks them out. But then Keilani Jordan took advantage of the situation by grabbing the title. When Jordynne Grace wants to go get her, Keilani Jordan waffled Jordynne Grace in the face with the belt, and then ends up being a pinfall. I think you're going to see Keilani Jordan being very, very different. And I'm sure Santino would like to have a word with Keilani Jordan about that tactic. We'll find out. We'll find out this coming Thursday. But both men continued to brawl after the matchup and got to the point where beneath the balcony, the crash were there. Ava's had enough. He said, you know what? You guys want to fight each other so badly? How about in 2 weeks' time? November the 11th? I believe that is a Gold Rush. Because Gold Rush will be November 11th and the 18th, I believe. NXT Gold Rush. And Ava says, you know what? The title will be on the line in a last man standing match. That's going to be something. Oh, I knocked down the Yeet box again. The Yeet cereal box. Let me just get it. Oh. Yeet. And no matter what happens this coming Saturday night, I always will eat with Jey Uso. Much respect. But, anyways, so that is it for tonight's episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Well, I'm going to upload this video and bid you adieu because it's going to be fun. So, thank you for coming in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. Oh, remember, Joker's Wild is tomorrow. AEW Dynamite and WWE Evolve also tomorrow as well. Mr. Announcer, once again, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Do It for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.